Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy 696 Gamer Channel, and I am here today with another Jump Force video. This time I'm going to be talking about 12 in-depth advanced tips to help you improve your gameplay in Jump Force. Now, I know a lot of y'all is probably playing the ranks and probably getting y'all butt whips because there's a lot of cheesing, spamming, and so on and so forth in the ranks. And never a lot of y'all is probably just trying to fight everything out and not really going straight into like the mechanics of the game and so on and so forth, and you don't really know what to do. So I'm here to give you some really good tips to help you get better, and I promise you, if you follow these tips will help you get better by the end of this video. So now let's get to these tips. And sorry, my boy Stormation, I showing all this footage of me whooping your ass. I ain't want to. Actually, I did want to do that. I want to show me whooping your ass, even though you catch me in the beginning. But anyways, moving on to the tips. So Jump Force is a team-based fighter. Even though it's an arena fighter, it's still a team-based fighter. So the most important thing of Jump Force is most likely team composition, right? You have to pick a very good team to get by in this game. Now, I'm a big Bleach fan, and Ichigo's one of my favorite characters, and I'm glad that Ichigo's really good in this game. But I can't say the same for another Bleach character, which is Renji. Aizen and Rukia is good, but Renji seems to fall on the short end of the stick when it comes to Jump Force, his movesets, and so on and so forth. So I would just love to play Team Bleach, but I can't just play Team Bleach with Renji in it because his assists and everything about him is not that great. Same thing going to, let's say you're a Dragon Ball Z fan and most of the Dragon Ball Z characters is good. I say, to me, Frieza may be the odd one out. I don't think Frieza's that good. Whatever like that. But Goku and Vegeta, they mesh well together. Piccolo is good because he got the special beat cannon. That might be the only really good thing about him, and his light grenades, especially. But hey, but yeah, Trunks is also good, right? So let's say you're a big Dragon Ball Z fan and Frieza is your favorite character. Now, maybe you want to play Team Dragon Ball Z, but I don't know. Maybe those characters just don't mesh well with Frieza. Let's just say Frieza is your favorite character, and also you like Gon from Hunter x Hunter, and Gon is also your favorite character, right? And let's also just say you like Blackbeard for One Piece, right? Blackbeard for One Piece is also your favorite character. Now, this, even though these are your favorite characters, these three together is a weird mix because none of their moves really work well with each other. Like, Gon assist doesn't really help out Frieza assist. Frieza assist doesn't really help out Gon's assist. Not that much, really. And then Blackbeard, at the end of that, it's just a weird mesh. So when it comes to team building, your second character has to work well with your first character, and your third character has to work well with your second character, and your first character has to work well with your third character. So keep that in mind. So let me show you a quick example of team building, right? So Gon combos in this game is somewhat less desired. Like, for you to cancel into your Jajanken, you can only do 3 light hits into Jajanken, right? So you could also do a combo like this if you fortify, use the temper to get 2 Jajankens, and then after Jajanken you could always do something generic like this, but obviously you can't get that much more hits in. So let's try to add in the Kenshin assist during it. So the only thing is, when you try to use the Kenshin assist to extend your combo, he knocks him back too far. So, and it's hard to combo after that. So that's not that great. Now let's lose the character with a really good assist, Aizen, who has great team comp, and you can get something like this and get more damage and have a way better combo. And you can even go for something like this when you have the tempo on with Gon. And this is all possible due to Aizen being very good for a team. So tip number 2 is learning your high speed dodges and your high speed counters. The high speed counter can be done by pressing R1 right before you get hit, as you can see. And this will get you out of situations where you can be punished, but you haven't just got hit yet. So, and you just disappear right out the way. So one thing about the high speed dodge is that it is tied to your stamina bar, and it takes away a really good amount of meter. And if you don't have any stamina, then you can't do a high speed dodge or a counter. So remember that. So high speed counters is you press square right as you get hit, right? So right as you get hit, you press square. It's kind of weird, or it's kind of weird. It's a little bit harder to do than high speed dodge. High speed dodge is a little bit easier, and high speed counter takes away a little bit less damage. Now this is very, very important at the higher level, because they will be doing this back to back against you, right? So as you can see, I just lost that situation right there, right? So sometimes if you go up against an opponent who is just clearly better than you than high speed dodge, and if you're able to reverse it one time back, I would just leave it alone and just let them get the win. As you can see, just back a ball. So if they catch you one time with a high speed dodge and you reverse it, hit them and then back off. There's nothing wrong with just backing off, because sometimes if they really go for it, they will hit you. So you gotta be careful about that. Also, a high speed dodge can also save you in a situation where you whiff attacks. That's also very, very good to use a high speed dodge, is when you whiff attacks. So keep that in mind. And high speed counters can actually break combos. As you can see, you could be all the way up in the air getting juggled, and you can break a combo with a high speed counter. The high speed dodge, you can't break a combo that I know of, unless it's like a switch or like a tag-in combo. But with the high speed counter, you actually can. So keep that in mind as well. You can actually high speed the aerial ping pong attacks with high speed dodges actually. So anytime when you're in the air and they do like the ping pong, they disappear, the vanish attacks that knocks you across, you can high speed dodge those. Or when they super dash at you, you can high speed dodge that as well. So tip number 3 is how to use your assist. So there's many ways to use assist in Jump Force, and which I will say Jump Force is really, really big on assist use, right? If you're not using assist, 9 times out of 10 you're probably losing higher tier fights, right? Not saying that you're automatically losing all the time, but when you get to the higher tier levels, like those B ranks and so on, you're probably gonna be losing. Not even B. If you're in the C ranks and you're not using your assist, you're probably gonna be losing. So since there's many ways to use your assist, here's one way you can use your assist. While your opponent is approaching you, you can stop their approach with an assist. Or if you need to cover yourself from doing something and you see and you're trying to keep yourself safe, you basically use your assist, boom. And if your opponent is dumb enough, they get hit by it, and depending on the assist, you can start a whole combo from there. You can also use assist to help you extend combos that you normally couldn't with other characters. Now, this combo with Aizen I can extend by myself, but if I want to extend it with my heavies, I have to use an assist, and I get pretty good damage for using that. You can also use assist to help cover situations where you will be unsafe, or situation where there's gaps where the opponent can't maneuver around, and so on and so forth. So I was facing an opponent right here, and this opponent was messing me up, because every single time he used a string where I'm able to like step around it, he would call the assist out, and the assist would stop me dead in my tracks, and that was like very, very annoying. And like I said earlier, you could always extend combos with assist. You can do stuff like this with assist, and you can also keep yourself safe with assist as well. Let's say you use a move that's unsafe. So Killer Lightning Palm is unsafe, but if I have assist available, I can use the assist to lock my opponent down, and then boom, I go on from there and use a mix up of charging up my heavy attack into make it smash it, and I'm able to hit my opponent, and I'm able to do this much damage because I was able to keep myself safe by using an assist. So using assist in this game is extremely important, and if you don't use assist, I advise you to start using it. One more thing I would like to add about assist, that assist can be punished. Even though using assist are good, it can be punished if you call it out at the wrong time. So you always have to be aware about using assist when your opponent has awakening and access to their ultimate, because that's an easy way to get punished. Once you get hit with the ultimate from your opponent, when your assist is out, sometimes it will always hit the assist, and your assist will become the point character. So you definitely don't want to spam the assist or get predictable with it. So the next tip is tip number 4, and this is super dash canceling, and we're gonna learn all the ways on why you should start super dash canceling in your gameplay. Actually, the name of this is called Chase, but since I'm a Dragon Ball FighterZ player, I'm gonna call it super dash. So one thing's first, when it comes to a lot of movement options in the game, a lot of movement options takes meter. So when you do like a double sidestep move, it takes meter. It don't take a lot of meter, but it takes meter. So I just want to put that out there for y'all. So if you don't have stamina, you can't do like a double sidestep. Same thing when it comes to super dashing. Super dashing takes meter as well. It don't take that much meter, but it takes meter. So if you don't have your stamina available, you can't do a super dash. Now, right out of super dash, you can attack. You can always attack out of super dash. You can do the square or triangle. You can even grab out of super dash. So this is where the mix-ups come in. As you can see, you can super dash and hold heavy and catch them. And you can also sidestep out of super dash and do stuff like sidestep, super dash sidestep, grab, or super dash sidestep. Wait to see how your opponent is gonna react to your super dash. And you can even like fake the super dash, and immediately out of super dash you can sidestep. And basically this is a maneuver to see how your opponent is gonna react to your super dash. And you can even do special moves out your super dash. The only special moves you can do out your super dash is the R2 circle moves, because for some reason when you try to do the square or triangle one, it will always do like the attack button. So for you to do like the R2 square moves, you have to cancel your super dash with square. Now there are situations where you can use the super dash to help punish, to stop yourself from being punished, or if your opponent is just sitting there blocking because they think you're going to attack a regular square, you can charge super dash and hit your opponent. So that's always good. And these are just ways you can use the super dash. And if you start using this into your gameplay, I guarantee you will start winning a lot more matches, because you will always catch your opponent off guard. So tip number 5 is how to beat armor moves. This is a simple but pretty big tip that a lot of players do not know, and they getting blown up by getting hit by a lot of armor moves, and they complaining about it. So the way you beat armor moves is just by simply grabbing your opponent, or you can hold down the light or heavy button and charge it up for it to become a smash attack, and you will simply beat out the armor move. So if you're facing against an Aizen, he's doing Black Coffin, you can just charge up your heavy attack, or you could just run up, simply do a special move, awakening, so on and so forth, or just grab him. So now it's time for tip number 6, and that is unescapable combos. There are definitely unescapable combos in this game, and they're pretty easy to pull off. So whenever you hit your opponent with a regular like attack, like light attack or heavy attack, at any point in the combo, if they have stamina, they can escape it. But if you hit your opponent with a special attack or awakening attack, they cannot escape it at all. They have to eat the animation of both those moves for them not to escape it. So if you ever find yourself in a situation where you need to kill your opponent, you have to do special moves. You have to link in 2 special moves together to kill your opponent. Not every character can link 2 special moves by themselves. So 9 times out of 10, you have to do a special move to assist, to extend it. And if you see that they have stamina, you just go straight into another special move again. And if you need that extra bit of damage to get the kill off, like I needed right here, you just use the awakening attack to get that kill. So tip number 7 is going to be, don't waste your awakening skill. So there's going to be times when you're playing and you probably getting beat really bad and you have an awakening skill and you want to use it. But this is a prime example of not to use your awakening. When not to use your awakening. You don't want to use your awakening in combos like this, especially when the opponent has such a huge life lead on you and there's still another round to go. Because look at the damage he did to me, was nothing. And I did more damage to him with my combo that he did to me with Awakening. So that's one. When you use Awakening in a long combo, it scales very, very hard. So I wouldn't use Awakening in a long combo. And I wouldn't use Awakening, especially if I know I'm on the verge to lose the round. I might as well start the next round off with my Awakening skill and try to do something from there instead of wasting my Awakening and have no resource at all the next start around when my opponent might have Awakening himself. So one way you can use your Awakening skill is to make sure you get the kill. So if you about to kill your opponent and then you finish off your combo and there's a little bit of life left, I will pop my Awakening then to make sure you get the kill. Unfortunately, I thought Aizen Super was damaged enough to get this kill here, but it wasn't. So tip number 8 is tagging in your assist partner for a faster recovery after you hit the ground from a knockdown state to rush back at your opponent and get right back into the fight to not let up on your opponent. Here's an example why you want to do this. That's really, really big. Quick recovering off of the tag puts you right back into your opponent's face, and it doesn't allow your opponent to try to like charge up their skills, you know, their meter or so on and so forth. And you can do this almost off of any type of knockdown. If a knockdown off of a special move, a knockdown off of Awakening skill, or a knockdown off a grab, you could tag in your partner for a quick recovery. So that's really, really big. Tagging in your assist partner is really also great for like avoiding certain type of moves or punishing your opponent when your main character is a certain distance away. Or also tagging your assist partner is very, very good for when your opponent gets that knockdown and they only got a little bit of health left and they try to do something, try to set you up for something, that assist character come right in and hit them. So the next tip is definitely going to help you out for tip number 9. The number 9 tip is you could escape some combos via through tagging. So there are certain combos in this game that can't be escaped due to tagging. Now the reason for this is because the quick recovery. So any combo that has like that animation where when you hit the floor and you have like that spinning knockdown state where you're about to get up, normally you can't get out of those combos because you're still in like a combo state through your regular character. But you can always tag in your assist character, and since the assist character is a quicker recovery when you hit the floor, you could get out those combos just like so. So keep that in mind, but sometimes you can get hit, so also keep that in mind as well. So tip number 10 is punishing your opponent's escapes. So dealing with escapes can be very frustrating at times, especially when you have them in a combo, because it's tied to your stamina bar, and you only need a little bit of stamina to escape. You don't have to have your full stamina bar to escape. All you need is just a little bit of meter to escape. So one way to punish escape is by the escape chasing. Do this by pressing L1 as soon as you think your opponent is about to escape, and you press L1 and you're going to chase after your opponent escape. Another way to punish your opponent escape is by simply just doing a special move. When you feel like your opponent's going to escape, you do a special move. You could do this by either baiting or visually seeing your opponent doing a special move. But as soon as you feel like the opponent's going to escape, you bait them out with a couple moves, let them escape, and you do a special move that's going to track your opponent far enough where they can get hit by it, and then boom, you punish them and you catch them into a new combo. If you're Aizen or if you're Killua, you catch them into something like this and hit them for the game, and you will teach them not to abuse their escape mechanic like that. So this is how you punish escapes. So tip number 11 is how to use your Team Awakening. So Team Awakening is a mechanic when you have 100% of your Awakening bar and your opponent is in block or hit stun from a normal move from you. You're able to press R3 during that, and it's going to activate Team Awakening, as you can see. And when you're in block stun, it's going to keep your opponent locked down, where you can just run up and charge up your heavy attack and break your opponent's guard and do something like this. And when they're in hit stun and they're getting hit, you will do your normal attacks, activate Team Awakening, then your 2 assist characters are going to come and pop up your opponents, and you're going to be able to do stuff like this. Now, one benefit of Team Awakening is that Your assist cooldown comes back, instantly recovers. So that's really good. So you could just use the assist and then go right back into using another assist from your Team Awakening after you activate Team Awakening. The only thing about Team Awakening is that your Awakening bar goes down way faster than it normally would. So keep that in mind. So we finally up to our last tip. This is tip number 12, and we're gonna be talking about the Awakening break, which is I like to call it the Awakening break or the Awakening escape. So this is a very strong tool, and it helps you out when you're in a jam, right? So for order for you to do this, you have to have 100% of your Awakening meter, and you have to be getting hit or blocked. And if you're in hit or block, son, you can press R3 and immediately goes into Awakening. And it doesn't even matter if you have no stamina at all. As you can see, you can do this with no stamina, which this guy ended up using on me, which I'm really mad about, and I ended up losing the match because he used the Awakening break. So like I said, you have to have 100% meter. No, not 100%, but 100% of your Awakening meter. And if you're getting hit or if you're in block stun, you could activate this move whenever those are the situations at hand. So always remember that. Even when you're getting air combos, you can always activate it as well. So keep that in mind. It's very important. So yeah, folks, that's pretty much the end of the road of this video. This has been a 6-Shot Gaming 12 advanced in-depth tips to help you improve in Jump Force. So if you watch this video, study these tips, and apply all these tips into your gameplay, I guarantee you will definitely be a way better player than you was before you start watching the video if you wasn't using these tips at all. All these tips I gave you is extremely helpful and will help you rank up in rank matches and beat up on some of your friends at locals and so on and so forth. But yeah, like always, people, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Check out some of the past content. I have tons of content for you to enjoy. Also, make sure to hit the notification bell to get alerted every time I drop a new vid for y'all. And if you want to help support my channel in any type of way at all, make sure to check the description box to go do so. But like always, people, I hope we have a nice day. Peace.